You guys, audio check 1 2. I need like 2 more minutes and then I'll start. I haven't had a chance to look at the charts yet, but we'll do a quick analysis together. Let's see what news we have today. Everything's driven by news. Okay, we got 8:30 news coming out, core sales, retail, and unemployment rate. So we're probably not trading before then. So no rush. By 8:30, we'll create a bias today, and we'll see if we can catch some pips or some points. Almost done, guys, for mind. All right. I'm back. Look what is happening, guys. Look what is happening with XRP here. Huge bullish run. Okay. Oh, I got to do one last thing. Sorry. Sorry, guys. How you guys doing today? You guys have good trading days yesterday? Okay. All right, let's get started. Hey, everyone. Sorry, I was just doing some stuff here. Okay. Let's do a quick dive down from the daily, okay? What did the daily do yesterday? A massive push up from this area. You can see it took out liquidity, right? These lows. It left an equal relative low here below us. This is something that we're watching. There is sell side here on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour, below the low of Monday, Jan the 13th. We also have sell side below us as well. And we pushed away from this level. So right now, what's price doing? It pushed past this daily fair value gap here, marked in red. Okay. Oops. I don't even know what that blue line is there. Right here. Price closed above this bearish candle. Okay. So what is this? This is a daily market structure shift because it took out the most recent high here. Today price, it pushed into the daily VI. Doesn't mean I love that I'm looking at. And from an order block perspective, technically all this here is a daily order block. So it's a bearish order block. Right now we're pushing into the second one. Usually if these order blocks are really strong, the first one is going to support price and it's going to go lower. Right now we're slowly pushing the second one, but price might be wanting, just looking at the daily, nothing else. And we are intraday traders, or at least I am. It might be looking for this level here. Like this is like the next level that's of interest to me. Okay. So now let's dive into the 1 hour. Okay. So on the 1 hour, huge spike up at yesterday. We had a huge RTH gap. And remember what we said yesterday? If RTH gap is above 120 points, we're expecting price to go up, not to retrace the midpoint, to continue that bullish price action. We won't always be right about it. We were right about it yesterday, but that's kind of how the probabilities will stack in our favor long term. The price came up. It tapped into this daily VI here. It broke down below it. It hit midpoint. And right now we're sitting right below daily VI. I'm liking this level right here. There's this double top on the 1 hour. It looks even nicer than on the daily. So this is going to be our drawn liquidity for the rest of the day. From the downside, do I see, because I have to play devil's advocate, do I see price going back down to, this level here? It's always a possibility, but I am hoping that price is going to break back up to the upside of the daily VI and start pushing towards this buy side liquidity. And then we've got two other levels of liquidity right here and right here. So the closest one to us is 500 points away, and the one below us right now is 800. Okay, so right now we're sitting in the premium of this overall price swing. And right now, based on what I'm seeing, we have news coming out in 13 minutes. This level is of interest. Okay. But again, it's this. This would have been really easy PA if this was taken out, but unfortunately, price left it for another day. Okay, so what we can do now is we can clear. I'm going to leave this here, this daily fair value gap, because price may go back down into it and retest it and then go up higher. I don't know, but it's just a level that can be used as support moving forward. Everything else I'm going to remove here so it's nice and clean. Okay, better. Now let's move over into the 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute, you can start seeing some fair value gaps here. All right. From a daily perspective, morning everyone. Sorry, I'm just multitasking here. We have, or sorry, from a weekly perspective, price went into this daily VI. We've retested the N WOG, so new week opening gap of 1223. Looks like it rejected it, body stayed to the lower half of it. The NWOG of 1.6, and now we're pushing lower. Just looking at overall market sentiment and price action, this can be seen as the rejections of these levels, but it's also creating relative equal highs here above us for, a future target to pierce. So this is a reversal that's a weak reversal and something that price may want to later revisit and break to the upside. So this is supporting the idea of going long, right? Let's see what price is going to do here once it gets to this 1 hour busy, how it's going to respect it, and if that's going to be the turning point to take price higher. Price is going to break this low right here at 349. And if news will drive it lower, we might see a lower push to the daily fair value before seeing a reversal. Or that may have been the push just to tap into this daily volume imbalance on the daily and then start dropping, right? Because it wasn't really filled from a daily perspective. From a sub daily it was, but something that I'm watching out for today. Okay, so how is it going to respect to this? If we're going to go lower, how much lower is it going to go? We also have unfilled RTH gaps from yesterday as well here. So price, again, might go a bit lower. But all in all, we're waiting for the breadcrumbs of price to show us what it wants to do. Let's see here. Okay, so on the 15-minute chart, price did, respect a fair value gap from the New York or the London session today, but then it just broke right past it. And right now it may be targeting, this inefficiency right here on the 15-minute before again, turning around, which is in line with the 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. From a daily perspective, let me clean some of this up here and let me map two things for us today. So number one, it's going to be the midnight opening range. One. Perfect. Okay, so this is how you map it. If you guys haven't seen me do this yet, I essentially create a marker point at midnight all the way to 12:30. And what we do is following. I'm taking the highest high and the lowest low. I'm locking that in. And then what I do is I look for the first meaningful displacement after 12 o'clock, right? And it looks like I see two of them. I see this one right here, right? And then I also see this one right here. But for me, meaningful, I think this one's pretty meaningful, right? Like size-wise, like the run duration of 13 handles versus 13. I think if price were to be looking at a PDA within this 30 minutes, it's most likely going to be this first fair value gap, and you can also see it as a first displacement as well. So I'm going to lock this in as well so it doesn't move. And then last but not least, I'm going to draw my fibs against this. So I'm going to draw it to the highest high and to the lowest low, and I'm going to lock that as well. I realize if I don't lock these, they do move on me accidentally throughout the day. You can see already slightly move. You want this to be to the high of the 12 o'clock high. Okay, it's all locked. Looks good. Okay, and it's really interesting because we look at price and how it's being supported. You can see here at a 2 standard deviation. So it's technically like a 1 standard deviation, but here on the fib it says 2. You can see how price is, rejecting the lows here. It rallied higher. And right now, this is below us here, okay? Something to watch out for. What else coincides with this, or at least the upper half of it? It is this 1 hour buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So let's see, fair value gap. So far, the moment I see this break to the downside, this break to the downside, and even the first fair value gap of yesterday break to the downside, the first fair value gap of January, sorry, then again, my bias from from long will be breaking there. Okay. All right. And Alex, yeah, it's hitting it, but we also have news in 5 minutes. Let's do something else. Last exercise we do in the mornings at 7 a.m. That's when the algo kicks in the morning session. And after this, we're looking for what relative highs that it can want to take. So right here, we've got relative equal highs that were engineered, relative equal highs. And then right below us, we've got these two lows here. That price might want to take out with news. So we just gotta be cognizant of these two levels, relative equal lows. All right, we got 4 minutes. I want to review some of the trades I took yesterday. Right before the 4 p.m. close, I managed to catch a couple of pips. I know some of you did as well. You guys shared in the Discord channel, so congratulations. But it was essentially micro scalping until price tags the final liquidity. So I think yesterday I ended off the stream with I think minus 70, and I managed to per account, so minus 600, and then I managed to crawl myself out of that, and I was sitting around 250 closing off the day. So again, another positive day. Nothing crazy. It's essentially break even at that point, but that is that. All right. We have news. Oh, I guess it's something that you guys should be aware of that I'm doing in the background here is I'm reaching out to, all your favorite top or prop firms. And I'm really requesting two things: for A, partnerships, and B, for the highest possible discount code that they offer. So as I get these free accounts, we're gonna start doing giveaways, which I think will be fun. So free prop firms. And then number two is once I get these codes, I'll be sharing with you guys as well. But again, I'll see which of them do want to partner up. Okay. All right, news in 10 seconds. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, huge spike to the downside. We got these relative equal highs here. What news was this? Let's see. Today I have a hard stop at 10:30. So hopefully we get some meaningful price action by 10:30. So what are, oh, I was checking the news today. Forexfactory.com. We had core retail unemployment and retail sales. Okay. And let me look at the economic calendar on FX Book as well. Sometimes Forex Factory misses things out. Today is Jan 16th. Okay. So we have medium impact news at 10 o'clock, and that's about it. Okay. So that just may be a catalyst for a future trade. Okay. News is it's moving essentially sideways after the drop. Okay. So question for you guys. Which side are we targeting? The relative equal highs or the relative equal lows? First answer that I'll get, I'll give you my answer after that. You guys know which one we're targeting right now. It is bearish, but it's going to be the other side. So we're waiting for one of these sides to be targeted. And once the side gets targeted, it opens up the other side. So always when you have relative equal highs and relative equal lows, the first side that gets taken out is the wrong side. I am bullish, but I think we have room to downside. I think so too. I'm not liking this bottom that's forming right now, and this high above us is something that I'm not liking too. Like what did news do? At least it took out this relative equal high here, right? So we got really one above us, but for it to leave this, I would be surprised. Like it'd be nice to see like a spike down, aggressive spike up, MMS shift, and then we start pushing to the upside. What do we have above us? Like the new week opening gap of last week. Where's this week's new week opening gap? It's way below us, right? Right here. On the 15-second here, yeah, my guess right now is we're pushing lower here. Look what it did on the 15-minute chart. It went up into this fair value gap, right? It filled it in almost perfectly, kind of wicked right above it. That's the Mohawk. That's acceptable, right? And now it's pushing lower. So I think these lows are the new target. Am I going to scalp this lower? No. I'm waiting for the bigger price moves here. Yes, let's actually talk about that quickly. Thank you for reminding me, Vilt. But this price action right here is something that we have to be cognizant of. Well, okay. So let's not make it purple. Let's make this blue. Okay. Okay, so this area right here has not been filled yesterday. And it hasn't been traded to, right? So this is another level that we have to, if it stays open and price goes up, it means that price is very bullish and this might be a return later on, but this is something that we haven't traded to. So have that added into your overall kind of analysis for the day. Like if price breaks NDOG, if it breaks the first fair value gap of January, am I going to be looking for shorts? Probably. Okay. I don't think it's going to break below this and then go back up and try to take highs out. Right. And, you know, Vilt, it doesn't have to do that, right? Price doesn't have to do really anything, but it could do that, right? So that's like, you're absolutely right. It's just, I would probably just adjust the verbiage on it, right? For everything. It doesn't have to do anything. Can just completely fuck everyone over. Weekly expansion profile seems to be in play. Yeah, exactly. Today's Thursday, so if it continues going up, it's going to be a really strong reversal, and then next week it's going to be all liquidity to the upside. Okay, so we understand what's happening here. Let's label this as the 1 hour BSC, and then I'm going to turn this graph here into so let's turn this into the 5 minute here. So let's get a more raw view or a more bird's eye view of the 1 minute, but not so much of the 15 minutes. So you can see here on the 5 minute chart, price is moving in a very high resistant fashion after this 1 hour BSC here. It traded to the upper half of it. What might we see at 9:30? You know, maybe a drop below this, a reversal, and then a push up. But we will see. We will see what's going to happen. It's anything high prob right now. Longs are not high prob. Shorts are not high prob, right? This is, I'm watching this. So the consequent encroachment of this wick here has been slightly broken there, but I'm kind of watching that. Like this level right here. Curious how it's going to like if it's going to pop above it. That might be like the bullish sentiment for the day. I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, guys. But nothing's really happening, I think, over the next 5 minutes anyway. So be right back. All right, I'm back. Hey, morning, bro. So let's see what we have here. We got. I'm not crazy about any of this PA right now, but I'm gonna map this anyways, just so you guys can see what price could do. But we've got a. We got a fair value gap right there. Price went to the midpoint of it, the CE. Where did price go here? It created essentially relative equal highs here, right? Here's that midpoint. Price right now is dropping into this fair value gap. If it breaks it, most likely it might be heading for these lows here. Here's the 15-second fair value gap. Okay. Right. Body's closed right below it. This is still indicating that the fair value gap is in play. Like, this is not something that, like, when you see a strong close into a fair value gap, doesn't mean it's going to break. So you have to always wait for confirmation. And if you kind of look one level deeper, it's just at the midpoint of the 15-second fair value gap. So all these fair value gaps, BISI, SIBIs, if you use them together, sometimes when they all align, that's when you get great trades. So you got these relative equal highs above us, these relative lows below us. So right now it's gambling. This kind of rejection is a strong close above this fair value gap. Like when fair value gap gets closing all the way and the next candle just pushes the other way and fails to close within it and it goes right above it, that's indication that this fair value gap is holding well, right? It's like, number one, we don't want it to trade to halfway. That's indication, right? That price might be bullish. Or number two is if it does trade all the way, then the negating factor is seeing the other one push the other way, right? So previous day high too. Let's map that. Previous day high is, yeah, right there. Yeah, exactly. So it's really good to have previous day highs and lows mapped. So here, let me do this right now. Usually I do this, but I forgot right now. So here is previous day high. Okay. Previous day low, I don't care about, so far out. So that's really the only level that's close to us that is going to be of value over the next little while. So if I drop back into the 1 hour, you can see the 1 hour candles just digging into that 1 hour BISI. Price is pushing up against this 15-minute possible inversion here. Okay, so let's mark this as orange. All right, so we're sitting between a lot of PDAs here. So at the for the previous day highs, map them right here. We know where they are. Price uses previous day's highs, lows, and opens as areas of support and resistance as well. So that's why it's always good to have them mapped if we're around them. So I just transpose it to the 1 minute here, so we see where it's at. We can see here like the strong rejection, the push above right now, it's taking out these relative highs on the 1 minute. And like, would I have been in love with this like scalp long? No, just because of like these lows here. Price could have easily just went back down, right? Like right after this candle, and then just plummeted lower. I am liking how price just tapped into this 1 hour busy and then just rejected from it. But you know, today we're looking for high probability setups. So most likely after the open at 9:30, which is going to be right here on the chart. Right, we'll want to wait for some manipulation, some accumulation, and some distribution, like a PO3 move. But right now is the 850 to 910 macro. So price is going to do one of two things here. It's either going to do nothing or it's going to spool. And these relative equal highs might get tapped right now, and then price might turn around and start pushing lower. That's one possibility. Touch into the new weak opening gap. If it does that, maybe I might start hunting for shorts because I like this level a lot. I do want this to get retagged, even though that it rejected a 1 hour BSC. The bodies haven't even touched this, right? It's just wicks. But let's see what price wants to do here. Price right now on the 15 minute, just looking at bearish order flow here, is we had a little SIBI here form to the downside. Technically right now it just broke above it. This wick high was nice because the body of the candle here stayed within it. Right now it's pushing to this inversion fair value gap, right? And these highs right here, these are relative equal. This high right here and this high right here, it might be pushing to this. The draw here might be this new week opening gap, but we'll have to see what it wants to do next, right? If on the 15, so the 15 minutes closing in 6 minutes, it'd be really nice to see it kind of pop up above these highs, reject the new week opening gap, and then start pushing lower while closing below this 15-minute fair value gap or inversion. That would be, in my opinion, interest to go short at that point. But the moment that this candle closes above this 15-minute fair value gap, we have a rejection here. We're above previous day highs. I wouldn't be so inclined anymore to take it low. It's just, just a bit too many levels to break through to the downside for a trade. Like what are we willing to risk? With our capital. If it's bigger trades like 5-1, 6-1, that's something that I'll most likely hedge against. But if it's a quick 2-1 or 1-1, definitely not worth it. Very uneventful morning so far. Okay, let's see what it wants to do here. It's going to take out these relative equal highs probably any second now. We've got fair value gaps forming to the downside, indicating bullish strength, just the wicks going in. So this is a nice reaction. It's reacting to the highs of these wicks here into the midpoints, which is good. And this should be the push here, take relative equal highs higher. So it did take out one of the highs. Okay. And right here, we've got a bullish order block. Let's see if it's going to support price and take price higher to essentially terminus for the longs on the upside. See how the 1 hour is shaping up. Going to be pushing back into the VI. There's also a possibility this gets left open and price continues pushing higher. But let's look at one last thing here before the open. Let's look at yesterday's close versus today's open. So we've closed yesterday at 21,374. If I switch back to electronic trading hours, we are 100 points above this price. Okay, so we're probably going to open up below 120 in my opinion, unless we open past the new week opening. Like if price pushes past this new week opening gap, we're probably going to go higher. But if we're going to be within this range from the open to the new week opening gap, price can do one of two things. It can either retrace back to the 15% consequent encroachment or midpoint of the RTH gap. It might close it fully or it might go higher. So that's more of like a mixed bag, like a 50-50 when price opens up between 70 to 120 points above yesterday's close. So most likely that's where we're going to be at today. And if we're ever below like 70, so if we open up around this price right here, around 444, we're going to be looking for a push higher after 930, some kind of Judah, and then taking it down to midpoint, if not the close, which is the new day opening gap of yesterday, along with the midnight opening gap as well. So you got a lot of confluence factors here. Morning hopeful. So that is that. Price right now is digging into the upper half of this 1 minute BISI. You can see here, guys, like price isn't really, it's moving in directions, but is it energetic, one-sided, something that you want to be on? I don't think so. I personally don't use trading view tools in Top Step. I just use two buttons there. I use buy and sell. That's really it. I really like using Top Step, the platform, to do everything. So top step, the platform can do a lot more than just the built-in top step in TradingView. What are the differences? I don't know, but I remember back in the day, I tried doing something and it just didn't let me. Can you have a multi-chart layout? I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Let's see. Oh, it looks like you can actually. Anywho. Maybe it might make more sense for me to share my entire top step X. Oh, I'll have to look into it. But TradingView is great. Okay, so price pushed into this 1 minute BISI. They rejected it. Okay, it's coming to the upside. All the bodies are staying above the CE, which is, you know, a good sign for short-term bullish price action. Okay. These high here would be the drawn liquidity if price has one right now to the upside. We're at 9 o'clock right now, half an hour before the open. This move right here from this fair value gap all the way to these highs, it's definitely been moving for a while now. 15 minutes to do 20 handles. But let's see if I think this is going to be the move to these equal highs now. It pulled back, it's going back higher. Priced on the 15 minute, it closed on the upper half of this inversion here, showing weakness. All right. So this bearish order block here on the 15 minute has been broken to the upside. Okay. It's creating relative equal highs here right now on the 1 minute. Price right now is pushing back to the upper side of this inversion. Something that might also happen is if this doesn't get taken, price starts going lower, starts consolidating here, and then we got the Judah to the downside, and then we're taking price up. That would be nice, right? Those are the breadcrumbs that we're seeing on the upside to take, and just waiting for the fake out, play the fake out, and then take it higher. But not much is going on right now. Are you guys looking at anything right now specific pre 9:30 to trade? That you guys want to share with the group? Or any other kind of price action that you guys want me to review? Yesterday, one of our fellow members was looking at shorts here on micro gold futures, right? But if you kind of look at the overall price action here and what price is doing, my bias was I think the shorts were valid, but it's look what price did here yesterday. It kind of moved into a volume imbalance. Okay. It touched it and then it started reversing the other way to relative equal highs here, which I denoted yesterday with eyeballs. And right now, I think the next draw on liquidity for micro gold futures is going to be this level right here. On the daily perspective, it looks something like this. I don't trade gold. I don't think I will trade gold. I might like forward test it from like a demo perspective, like I'm doing right now. Like, how is it reacting? But you can see the way gold reacts is there's a lot of volume imbalances between every single day here. Like this is like natural price action for it. But it's just interesting to see. All right, Dell, I'm just waiting. Nothing for me until New York Open. The first 1 minute. Yeah. First percent fair value. Agreed. You can see here, it's interesting just to know how bodies are reacting off of the consequent encroachment of, midpoint of this fair value app. You guys have to be very careful. So MT and CE, like midpoint and consequent encroachment, it's essentially the same thing. It's like the midpoint of like a specific range or a gap. But CEs, so consequent encroachment, are only used for gaps. Midpoint, everything else that's not a gap, right? So fair value gap, but like volume imbalances have consequent encroachments. RTH gaps have consequent encroachments. Everything is CE. Okay. This, I like these highs left for us. This is something that price is setting up for. The bodies are still sitting within this inversion here. So this might hold to the downside. Sometimes we get nice runs after, like after 7 o'clock, like here. Definitely a nice run to the downside, but there's just nothing tradable. Just leaving relative equal highs here and just leaving them for a later time. Even longs from here, nothing that I would take, even though it dug into some type of support. In my opinion, longs here would be low probability. You are going against the overall trend. There has been a 1 minute market trigger shift here, but is this something that you want to take long? No. And then also pre 830 news. After 830 news, price consolidated. And it started kind of pushing higher to these levels, but it failed. And now it looks like it's probably going to go to the downside. I'm tempted to short here until the lows. That was a macro. Yeah. Technically, I know. I feel that temptation too. Like right now, if I were to bet money on it, I think including the 930 open, we're going low to some level here and then back up. Let's see how this 15-minute closes here. Right now, we're currently just touching previous day's high. I really like to look at these reaction guys. So 728.5 candle, touched it, previous day high. Touched it, body's closing above it, body's closing below it, body's closing below it, body's closing at it. Strong rejection off of it. You see how this previous day high here is just acting as such a interesting level, either to the upside or to the downside. I just hope price doesn't break this purple level right here, because that's gonna it's gonna weaken my long bias. I want this to hold support and turn from here if it does turn, because then it's supporting everything else. Let's have a look at the 5-minute here. Okay, so price might be using this as an inversion now. So let's label this as orange. So orange, guys, means inversion. And we're going to be using this BISI essentially as a SIBI now, right? So price, you can see here, tried pushing into it. It's rejecting. It's barely, breaking above the constant encroachment here on the 15-second. Like the moment it tried to, it just dropped down right further. And we'll see how this, we're tape reading right now, how this is going to react to the downside here. We still have relative equal highs above us, right? And we got lows below us as well. So these are our two pools of liquidity that we're currently looking at. What is this blue bar here? Daily volume balance. Okay, we're 18 minutes away from the opening. Let's see how this 1 minute here closes this candle. Let's see if that body's going to get below that constant encroachment there. That's what we want to see as, signs that this is holding. So this candle held, the wicks do the damage, but let's see where this body's going to land in the next 15 seconds here. This is how you look at price action. Like when we're in high probability conditions, which is not right now, we look at things like this. How are fair value gaps respected? Where are the bodies closing? How is it using previous wicks? Right? So like this wick right here, I'm going to get rid of it right now because we don't need it anymore. But like, how is price respecting it? Is it closing above it, below it, etc.? You can see here, price just pushed right above it. So this inversion here did not hold. I really hope price doesn't take these highs out here. I want it to leave it for us and just start going down lower. In 1 minute and 30 seconds, the 15-minute chart here is going to create a pretty nice candle to the upside, right? Push down to this inversion now and inverted this fair value gap, this SIBI to like a BISI. And now it's most likely going to take out these highs here, unless it wants to leave it or post 930, drop lower, and then use it as a higher target. This here is definitely interesting PA on both sides. So it's while we're waiting. Let me see if I can review some of the price action from yesterday. So this was one of my trades that I took yesterday. This was essentially got back to break even. Since the morning, man, this session sucked. But in the morning we managed. I tried to catch a short here. It got me a break even. I tried to catch a long. This was very early post 9:30. Price decided to swing once down lower and then go back up. I managed to catch that. I got out at break even because they did try scaling in up until this level, which is the 448 level. I did indicate yesterday too that this is going to be a possible shorting zone. If price gets to 1130, this is where we want to short from. It was a good shorting level. It's just that price started shorting very late into the game in the last possible macro, right? So price never got to 1130 in this blue box here, but when it did, it started shorting. So this is how you can kind of see where key levels of like buy side and sell side, they do play in biases on going long or short. Okay. And then I did want to take a short here. I was really hoping to go higher, turn around and then start dropping. Never did that. Price after it created a lot of buy side liquidity, right? So all this is buy side. It dipped lower. It touched the upper half, or it touched the very tip of the RTH opening. So into the 930 price, and then it started rallying higher. Okay. So it took out all of this buy side here. It eventually took out the price that we wanted to hit yesterday, 448, and then it reversed. The price that I saw is the moment that I saw price kind of consolidating here right after, right before 315. I just essentially took the macro. I'm like, it's going to do one of two things. It's going to give me a 2.5 to 1, or it's going to continue dropping lower. And for me, the draw was here was pretty strong and kind of got in right when this fair value up for him to came back down, tapped me in, and I took it to the buy side here. So that's kind of where my final position was. Again, it wasn't for a lot. The total trade was for I think 250 to the upside. So I negated my losses plus an additional 50 per account. So 250 altogether. That's kind of, and a lot of guys in the Discord community, they all took it higher as well. So, so that's that. I took that buy, but I didn't hold. I wanted to see if the SIBI, the 15-minute will fold. Like when? Like back here? Or are you talking about like current price action? I'm not sure, Alex, what you're talking about right now. What model is for entries? On stream, guys, I'm very strict with how I trade. We're like waiting for fair value apps to form, highs, lows. In the afternoon session, I'm slightly more discretionary. And I kind of blend my rules a bit, right? I make them a bit fuzzy. I still trade within them, but you get a bit fuzzy. But my favorite one is entries off of turtle soups, first presented fair value apps, seeing displacement from them, training back into it, taking it long. Those are some of like the top 3 entry models I use, but most likely it's like fair value up forums, it comes back, tags you, and it goes long, right? So price most likely is going to tag these highs. I'm going to be really surprised if it leaves it open. So it did take out one of them right here. There's really just one high left that it needs to tag right here. And then let's see if it's going to dig into this new week opening gap. 930, honestly, sometimes I have an idea of what it's going to do for us here. I don't know. But remember, above 120 points, which is right here. Right, this right here is the 120 point mark. 120 plus. This is when I think yesterday's RTH gap is going to be left open, right? The one that we have marked here in blue. I don't think we're going to trade to it, to be honest. I really don't. If we get low enough, sure, we'll start targeting it. But right now where we're at, it's going to be an ever so slight retracement, right? Maybe again to previous day highs, maybe these relative equal lows, but we'll have to see. Current. So you took a buy off of the 15-minute SIBI, but you didn't hold. It's like right here. Yeah. And I personally wouldn't hold that either if I was you. So I'm excited for the open. Okay. Prices officially broke out these relative equal highs here. We have these lows here that are still leaving to be open. Is price just going to leave them here from? It possibly could. Like it just. This is just remember, like it's 1 minute buy side liquidity, right? It's just not like a super draw, if I can call it that. But it tapped into this 1 hour BISI and just rejected right from it. It's going into this VI here. If it breaks this VI to the upside, do I see going back down to take out this low? No, right? It's just going to be one more layer of confluence of why it's not going to go down. But right now, I'm very indifferent. When 930 hits, I can see multiple kind of biases take place. So we're pushing above the 120 point mark right now. Price is rejecting the dog. But if I were to kind of want to see something, and like it would be nice to see price take the upside, take the downside, and then go back up again. On the 50-minute chart, all above us, this is all buy side here, see? Relative equal highs. We just got this one low here. Once we break this high, the body, this is going to be a market structure shift to the upside. And that's when this low becomes very low probability that we're going to hit. But we'll see how it's going to react to the RTH gap, if it's going to fill in some of it. And if it is, let's see if we can catch a reversing point and take price up. But my overall buy today is longs. Okay. It's just, there might be opportunity for quick scalps to the short side. And if your overall bias is long and you're seeing trades to the short side, if you want to take them, I think a good strategy to employ is reducing your risk. And maybe for all longs, you take, 1 RR. For all shorts, in the overall session that your long bias is for, you take 1 hour long. So if you're wrong on the shorts because you're overall long, you don't lose as much. That's what I've noticed that. Price right now is 7 minutes out. It's rejecting the NWOG. Again, this is not influential to take a short here, FYI. But let's see what price wants to do. This was the final 15-minute fair value gap on the 1 minute. What am I doing here? There you go. It's been barely tapped, rejected. It's pushing into key levels right now. Like if I were to be taking longs, I would never take them at this level. like trading through new week opening gaps. It would have to be some kind of like breakthrough and retest off of fair value gaps, take it long. But right now, I'm primarily right when 9:30 opens. Shorts are of interest, more of interest than longs, even though my overall bias is long for the session. And for the session, I mean from like 9:30 to 11. So price right now, you can see it is pushing away from the bottom of the NWOG. Let's see what else we have here. Let's look for some more cookie crumbs. Cookie. Okay. So again, not much here, even on the 5 minute. Like we've created this very rounded low here, which is essentially this low on the 1 minute. Price failed to break above the consequent encroachment of this daily volume imbalance, which is essentially the new week opening gap. It's the exact same thing. Via new week opening gaps and daily volume imbalances, they will coincide. Not always, but at least once a week, right? On that new week opening gap. Or actually, sorry, what did I say? They always coincide with each other. Because if the daily gaps from Sunday to Monday, that's going to be the new week opening gap as well. You can see here, price nicely rejected like the midpoint of here. So trading into this, wouldn't recommend, but like once it breaks it, goes up, back down, then I think, longs would be valid. But it's just nice to see this price action on the 5 minute here. You can kind of see it here on the 1 minute, but it's just easier to read on the 5 minutes. That's why it's important to use multiple timeframes to analyze where price is at and where price wants to go. Oh. Okay, price right now, let's see what it's going to do. Got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes till the open. Currently, let's see. So this is showing my gains from yesterday, guys. It's minuscule, but my stats are going up. I got 3 minutes for you guys. Come on. Low top step. Takes a very long time for top step to load one of my XFAs. 30 seconds or so. So you can see here. Oh, I was wrong about my balance. So this is yesterday's performance here. Kind of sucked, but I thought I was at like $50 for net P&L, but it looks like it's 26. So it varies per account. Here's just one of the accounts. And all in all, right, the equity trend is going up. FOMC was here. I really think I'm not going to trade FOMC anymore, just because the moment seek and destroy kick in, unless you have like once, like you lose once and you're over. Here I took like 3 trades in a row that I was just chopped up just because price was just taking highs and lows with no real conviction. Even trying to time it with PDA or PD arrays and macro times, it just wasn't spanning out for me. So, and then after that was kind of my return. So I want to get priced to 4K per account before I do a 50% payout. So I've got 1.3K to go. We're almost there. And then you guys will see a quick video of me pulling this money out and just adding it to my bank account. So all in all, let's see what happens. Yeah. Wait. So the takeaway there is, do you see how many freaking days I have to trade to have a very consistent equity curve with consistent profits, even though it's nothing crazy? I have 5 of these accounts connected, and that's why I like having 5 accounts. So you can trade less. You can take 10 to 15 losses in a row, and that's when you blow your account. But nice, slow, and steady always wins the race. My goal is to get to the 4K mark per account by the end of the month. So that means I get 20K USD within 1 month. And then if I continue that, that's $250,000, right? Baby steps, guys. Even though you only see me making $400 some days, 2,000, or even losing like 1,000, baby steps is going to get me to that mark. It's hard to believe, I know, but it's hard for me to believe as well. And sometimes I'm impatient. I'm like, I just want to pay out tomorrow. Like, what if I just take one trade right now, 3-to-1, risk 500, and bam, I'm at 4K, right? So that's more of like the gambling mindset. This price opened up. Oh, it didn't open up yet. 30 seconds. Looking at like the velocity of the 1 minute candle, I thought it opened up, but we still have 20 seconds left. What was the process for you passing? Very simple. It's $50 per account for a 50K account. So just connect all 5 at once, find high probability setups, and just take a 1-to-1 day 1, right? So gain 1.5, lose 1.5. And it's either you blow them all or you day 1, you get them to 50%, and then day 2 repeat again. But just do it on really high probability setups. And the chance of me hitting like a pass in 2 days is like 80%. Sometimes if I don't pass it, like day 1, my trade doesn't go well. I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to buy 5 more. So it takes me within like 3 days. Like on average, I would say it's like 3 days to get 5 accounts. And I might lose 250 USD on maybe try 1 or try 2. But then like what's 250 USD to like a 10K payout, right? It's, do the math. It's like what? It's like 3%. So I lost 3% to expedite getting accounts. Frick. See? I had a feeling it's going to go down here. Okay, let's focus at the charts right now. Price is dipping lower. We're looking for first percent of fair value gap after the 931 candle. So we still can't look for one on the 15-second chart, but it did push lower into the first quadrant. Watch this this inversion fair value gap here. We did open up what? How many points? Exactly 120 points, right? So I do need to see, like, I'm indifferent right now. Price can go up or down, but it might be heading for a midpoint right here, and then these relative equal lows. This right here was a nice push to the upside. This is essentially instant rebalance here, so it's a very bullish price action. So I think price is going to be heading for these relative equal lows here. Like that's like the trim target. So let's see if we can catch something here. Let's see if price can get into this first percent of fair value gap of. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a quick short here. If it gets into, okay, I shorted 3. And this is, again, this is higher risk, guys, because the 1 minute hasn't even formed yet. Okay, my stop is right above here. I'm aiming for these relative equal lows. Price is bearish right now, which there's no reason for it to go up here because of this instant rebalance. 480. 480. Okay. All right. Now we just got to wait and see if this is going to hold. If this is going to hold, great. No, it's in fucking quick, boys. Oh, this is tagged. 820. My stop loss is being moved above this high right here. So I'm risking 90 for 250. Dal, you can't say it's a nice trade yet. You got to wait. It needs to hit profit. It needs to hit these fucking lows. It must, man. What's the price at 420? Oh, he gave the smile. The smile might turn price around here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm 1 tick away. Keep dropping price. There you go. I'm out, guys. So I just made 1.2K in a minute. Nice. Nice. Let's go, Alex. Bring in the money. Bring in the fucking money. See this, guys? This is Cookie Crumbs here. And we are the fucking Cookie Monster. You smell them out and then you take it. And then, hey, can you take it lower? Would I? I wouldn't because of this midnight opening range. Everything. Alex, that's the plan, man. That's the plan. That's the plan. If we get 20K, I'm talking about all of us, because like if I can hit these targets, you guys can do them too. One of the only delta or differences is I invest a lot of time every single day into watching ICT videos and taking notes and trying to figure out every little single thing he says. And the more I expose my brain to all of it, even indirectly, I start picking up on what price may or may not do. So like just, I know it's a lot of hard work and it's boring, but I promise you, it's going to make you guys more money, more successful, and get you out of your 9-to-5 jobs if you work them or whatever you do. So yeah, that's kind of my tough love for you guys. Like, you guys have to watch more ICT. And I know a lot of like influencers out there. They're like, oh, like he blabbers a lot, this and that. Maybe he does, but just wait for those little small signs of golden nuggets. Take notes. If you guys saw my notes ever of the notes I'm taking from the 2024 and 2025 mentorship, you guys would be shocked. It's pages and pages. In the future, I might consolidate it all and share it, right, with the world and say, here is all of ICT's best things that he said ever since 2020, 2024, and this I should study it. But I'm really far off from creating a document like that. But it might be a future deliverable that you see from me. But it's just there. And if this helped me, I think it should help you. Okay, so what did price do here? Took out these lows. Nice. Retested the 1 hour BISI. Remember, my bias is long for the session. Right? This was the scalp to the downside. It was a 2.5 to 1. I didn't risk enough. But it wasn't like technically a full trade, but it was it was against my overall bias. So what I want to see here is price on the 15-minute. They rejected the 15-minute BISI. They rejected the 1 hour BISI. Mr. Explanation for that one. Can you go over again? For what exactly? This right here? Very simple. Relative equal lows on the 1 minute. First fair value gap on the 15-second. It came in, it tapped it, it dropped. The other thing I liked is on the 1 minute here. Do you see this right here? This is called an instant rebalance, is when price essentially pushes back up all the way to that open and then drops again. This is a very strong signal that you are on side and that price is bearish. And when I took this and I added it to this, these relative equal lows, so the instant rebalance plus the relative equal lows plus the retest and the creation of the first fair value gap of the 15-second, that was my indication to go short, okay? Even though my overall bias for the session is long, that was a short play. It was what? Like a 2-minute play, if anything? Let's see how long this position was for me. And when did I buy it, guys? I bought it here on the up close. When price was moving up into here, that's how confident I was to take it down. Yeah, it was a minute and 15 seconds, the whole trade. Do you have a rule for what time to take the trade? Good trade. When the price action is right, Alex. There's no like one rule. Like I'm discretionary at the end of the day. But when I see something like this in the first 30 seconds, and this is probably the Judah to the downside, I'm taking it. Like I'm running the Judah down. I'm short now based on the retest of the 1.5. Okay. So for me, can it go lower? It can. Am I going to trade it lower? Probably not. It's rejecting one standard deviation of the midnight opening range. I'm expecting a turnaround from here. Like I'm expecting this to be the Judah and price to go higher. It can go all the way to yesterday's close, but I do want to see it go higher. So I'm waiting right now for price action to show me that it wants to go higher. And then I might flip it to the upside. Yeah. yeah. So when you're trading the open, it's tough. It's probably like one of the toughest, I think, periods to trade. It's not slow, it's fast. Okay, so give me one sec, guys. I'm just gonna have to map this here for my end. Like the opening is hard to trade. I think the pre-market is easier if the conditions line up. The opening is hard, and I think it's easier after 10 o'clock. But when you do see the right PAs, price just goes in your direction. So you just have to be scrap that. Dell, do not give away free money to the market. So Dell, something to your trade is like we have these relative equal lows here. Could be tagged in the future. I don't know. Right. But right now it's trading past this first fair value gap on the 1 minute. Like when it comes to timing, Alex, look at my trades yesterday. I tried timing the first one right after the open. I was burned. And then the second one, I managed to catch it. So it really depends. But hold on, guys. This is interesting what's happening here. Okay, price broke into this first fair value gap. It created an RT. Okay, so I'm taking a long right here. Once it gets to here. Once it gets to that, I want to tap into it. And then that's my indication that price doesn't want to go lower anymore. And it's going to start pushing up. I'm using this as an inversion here. Okay, I bought 3. And price, my stop loss is sitting at 232. Okay, this is again, it's fairly aggressive here, but based on ICT's teachings, once you see something like this, you take it long. I just don't like these equal relative lows here, so my risk is a bit lower than what it should be. That's right there. And then this is the PO3 move, so we are holding it. If it does go up, it's going to be a big move. I just have to see this right here. This is throwing me off right here. This 15-second fair value gap, which it rejected once and twice. This might impede the trade, but technically the 1 minute fair value gap and how I have this positioned, it should hold. I really want it to hold. Your price is digging into it. That's a nice dig. Let's see what it's going to do here. I don't want it breaking that midpoint. This is a regular. The price should technically explode from here. It doesn't want to dilly-dally. If not, it's hitting these lows here. I'm going to be tapped out soon. If price doesn't respect. I'm still in the trade. Sorry, my stop's right there. I need this 15-second candle to close above this 1 minute fair value gap, and it needs to push up from here. If it decides to push lower, then I'm wrong about catching this trade. Keep going. It's holding really nicely right now. Okay, close below it. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about this. Yeah. That was unfortunate. So price right here, this would have been the Judah going back higher. It really sucks that it rejected this 50-second first fair value gap, and then it pushed lower. So this is the RTH gap, or this is the relative equal lows that it's targeting. This would have been a really nice run. Like if this was the actual turning point, then it would have went higher. But the reason why it was a good PDA to trade off of is it traded into it. It traded past it, came back into it. But unfortunately, this right here, it just held price a bit more to my liking. Okay, relative equal lows are being tapped right now. This was also like the second negative confluence factor here. So it had some good things to the upside, but it wasn't perfect. So that's fine. I'm personally really okay with that loss because I will take this trade over and over again when I see something like that. So this Judah here that's forming. The price went back, took out these relative equal lows. It broke past C, so it already traded into the CE and it went above it. That's when I thought that the damage has been done. It's going to go to the upside. The price is continuing to push lower. So now, personally, I have to wait for a bit more to take a trade longer short. Unfortunate. Okay, so price right now is pushing into yesterday's RTH gap. The 3-minute chart was we're checking for the 1 minute. Yeah, I don't look at the 3 minutes. Too many charts, not enough monitored real estate. I did. And on the 5-minute, it just pushed into this gap on the upside. And it pushed lower. But that would have been a really nice Judah from the market regardless. So let's wait here. So price right now pushed past these relative equal lows here, pushing down. I took out that liquidity. Let's see how it's going to react to the first. It's this little purple bar here. It's this first percentage fair value gap and displacement after midnight. Okay. Once it breaks this level, guys, my buys for longs are over for the day. You can see here on the 5-minute, price has bounced off the VI here and it's pushing lower. So let's see. Sorry about that. It's just currently pushing lower right now. Okay, so it's pushing into this RTH open here. This is today's pen dog. Let's see how it's going to react to this price here. It would be nice to have some of this left open before it starts pushing higher. I don't want it fully closed. Like, was there a Judah yet at 9:30? Technically, no. Like, this could be still the Judah. So I'm still married to this idea. So price touched the 9:30 fair value gap. Sorry, not the 9:30 fair value gap. The midnight open first fair value gap. It's pushing lower into this area here. This is something that I want to see price respect and start pushing higher. It's a very strong area. If it does break it, then price most likely is going to be heading for these lows here. Okay. Out of shorts. Yeah, this was a fucking long short here. Okay, so price pushed past the consequent encroachment of the whatchamacallit, this purple area here. And right now it's pushing to the downside. It fully filled in the gap. Let's see what it's going to do here. Is it going to just push back up here now and start pushing higher, or is it going to continue going down? But it's fully filled in the RTH gap. Tom, can you tell me if this is a valid opening? Give me 1 sec. So price push. Let's see how this 15-second candle is going to close here. This might be the rejection. I'm gonna do a one contract buy long here. This is a very high risk trade. FYI, guys, it's just if there is a bottom, this might be one of the bottoms, but it might continue going lower. I just traded past the end dog, and I just want to see if it's going to be respecting all of these areas here before it takes me out. But price is very, very, very bearish right now. It's just a possible turning point for price. And if I see a bit more, I might start scaling in. This is attempt one here. I want to see the midpoint. We'll see here. My stop is at the most reasonable price right here. It's right below these lows. But we'll see what happens here. If price breaks this, then biases for longs are officially over. And let's see here. The market structure shift, if we're looking for one, it's going to be somewhere up here on the 15-second. I even got before the 15-second market structure shift. Again, it's just based on all these key levels here. I might actually, we'll see. It is bouncing off of this RTH close here multiple times. And what am I targeting? It's going to be very long side up targets. Okay, so price it's respected this level very nicely on the 1 minute. There's still no market structure shift here though. There is this level right here, this volume imbalance on the 1 minute that it is respecting. I'm not liking that personally. Once this breaks and once it gets above this bullish order block, that might be an indication that this bear runs over. This is the Judah. It went to the RTH gap to all these levels. But right now, I can't risk more than 1 micro because this is very early in the buys of it turning here. So this is more of, is my initial idea correct? And if it is it going to push higher? And if it does come back for retracement, I may scale in more. Okay, so that was a nice push. RTH gap was filled. It's done its work. This is midnight range, supported price. It's creating. So like what I want to see now is if this creates a bullish fair value gap coming back into it, and that's going to be like partial one, right? Or sorry, it's going to be scale in one, right? I'm going to slowly start increasing my risk as it's slowly painting my direction. So we have a 15-minute market structure shift here now, right here. So that's kind of like sign 2 here that we might be turning around. Is it still like an A+ trade? No, it's very aggressive. Price pushed. See here, price is going to go back down. I'm going to buy one more in a sec. Once it gets into that 15-second fair value gap, I'm going to add in a second contract. Okay, so second contract bought in. My stop right now is at $100. It's sitting right here. If price breaks this price, it's okay that I'm wrong. Stop loss. Let's see what price is going to do here. If it's going to respect this fair value gap here and push higher, or if it's going to take me out for $100. In 20 seconds, we'll see how this 1 minute closes. I push into the second, looking at the 15-second here. Price may have went down to this fair value gap here, and we'll see how it respects. I do want to see the bodies in 10 seconds close above the midpoint. That's going to be indication of bullish PA. So the body's still closed at the RTH gap. This is not a good close. My confidence is definitely on the lower end, but I'm going to leave the trade open here. As it's still a valid close, it's just not an optimal close. The next candle we do want to see pushing up away from it. And once it closes above it, then that's going to be an indication that we are respecting bullish PDAs. So let's see here. This is probably going to be my last trade of the day. If I don't catch this, then I'm going to call it quits. Okay, 15 seconds still. It closes. It's using this buy side as inversion. So 15 seconds is not showing good PA to the upside. This is technically an instant rebalance here on the 1 minute if it closes like this. This I'm not liking either. So a lot of negative right now has formed to the downside. And I think price is going to take me out. So I'm going to close it off. So I'm done. Price closed off, unfortunately, right there. As nothing here about PA I'm liking now to the upside. If it rejects this level and it goes up higher, that would be painful. Oh no. Let's see. Was that an emotional move by me? It was. Okay. I'm going to rebuy once it breaks above this 15-second fair value gap here. What's the downside? So far, this is nice rejection. Like it's still acting as a good rejection. Here, let me buy 3 here. All right, last attempt. Yeah, technically I should have, but I think right now I'm just rushing to get into profit. But we'll see. It is rejecting it still. It's just that there's a possibility that this is the low, but we'll see. Last trade here. If not, I'm going to trade the PM session later on today. And so far, it's rejecting it nicely on the 1 minute. Like this fair value gap is holding well. It just needs to keep holding. That's what ICT says is like once you get into like one winning trade, just close the charts and move on to the next. But is Fed speaking? For some reason I missed that. So we'll see here. Right now it's consolidating. So it's one of two things. If I'm catching this is going to be a very big run to the upside. If not, then I'm okay with this loss here of it's going to be altogether 200 per trade or 200 per account, so $1,000, which is fine. Okay. So in 20 seconds, we'll have this 1 minute close here. Good rejection. Very good. And it's moving to the upside now. So upside targets. Yeah, let's see it break past this 1 minute fair value gap and this 15-second fair value. When it breaks these to the upside, my confidence is going to start looking for upside targets. But right now, I'm still waiting. Right now, my target's at the 530 high, but it's probably going to move up the moment that we start moving in the right direction. But still, right now, it's consolidating, so I can still do either or. I'm just liking how these candles are closing within this fair value gap. That's it, and how it rejected the midnight opening price, and how it doesn't want to break the first fair value gap at 930. So we'll see. Is this the Judah, guys, or is it going to take out this low here? That's the question. This is going to be like a come on price. This is where you start turning. 15-second. Let's see how this 1 minute body closes here. It closed a bit too bearish for my liking. All right, so I'm wrong about this. Price is punishing to the downside, and I'm out. Okay, I'm locked out for the day. I went on slight tilt there after the second trade here, and then I tried making it back here, but very choppy. And what price might do right now, guys, for the rest of the session is the following. This low right here is liquidity that it's probably going to attack. It respected this fair value up really nicely. Right now it's breaking past this really strong area of support, the new day opening gap, the midnight opening range, the first displacement, the RTH low. It was really a lot of levels for it to break down to. I thought that's the end of the Judah. And you can see it pushing low. What is this? 10 o'clock. There you go. So that was it is, yeah. It was just so that low that I was talking about, it did get tagged on the 15-minute. There was no Judah after 9:30. Price just plummeted lower. And this was a high risk but greedy trade where it turns around here and it starts pushing up. But all in all, right now, price is going to be pushing into the first fair value gap of Jan of 2025. But overall, guys, I think, what's price going to do now? Let's look at the 1 hour. So remember how I said earlier in the stream that once this low gets broken, my biases for longs are off. So I went into the daily VI, and right now, what am I doing? What am I doing is start targeting the volume imbalance here. So right now it's pushing to the first fair value up January. This gap here is nice, like after the RTH close of yesterday. So probable draw right now for today. It just switched to my end since we got so low below the art. It's seeing if we get a rejection of this, and then price might start going lower. If it breaks to this here, I think it's going to start targeting the upper side of this gap right here, which is untraded area from yesterday. Let's see how it's going to reject this area here. So after 10 o'clock hits, sometimes you get a bit more clarity about the market, but price right now is, imagine if that was like the low before it starts going higher. Just taking out all of these relative equal lows. You gotta be kidding me. It was just a wick, these lows here. The price is right above the midnight opening range. It's retesting the end dog. It didn't respect this 1 minute civvy or this 15-second civvy here. It just blew right past it. It created something called it's going to be a balanced price range the moment that price closes here in the next 30 seconds. On the 5 minute, what do we have here? Yeah, we've just got lows taken here. It's moving into the SIBI, which could be used as an inversion right now. Price went to the contour encroachment, it's pushing up. Like, the temptation from me is market proved me wrong twice. Third time, surely I should be right, but I did say that, I'm soft locking myself out right now, but price went into this end dog here. It's definitely bouncing right now. Pick a direction, price. Was this your Judah? The lower of the RTH gap is also being used as support. I'm gonna wait for a bit more here. We have triple highs above us. Let's see if price can get above this 1 minute RTH gap. If it can, that means the bias most likely is long for the rest of the day, but I just want to see it break this level here. A line in the sand to go longs. Price failed for the previous candle to break above midpoint. Okay, that's a really nice rejection here. It's back into this fair value gap here that was respect to the downside like crazy. Like it needs, like Alex, it has to be something. The moment I take one loss, my rules are like the next trade, it has to be like very, very clean, like high confluence that I know it's going to go in one direction or the other. So like the trades that I took here were like ultra high risk, but ultra high reward as well. It was more of like a money play, if anything. And I wasn't even risking a lot. It was like 1 or 2 minis or micros. But currently I'm just waiting right now. I'm down 200 for the day per account. So this is kind of where I slow down a bit and I just wait for a bit more from the market. So it's not about catching every single pip. It's more of now high confluence trades. And like this area right now, like it's like like price right now, it grabbed the liquidity here. That could have been the goal. And then I've got all this buy side sitting above us, but I also have below us untraded RTH gap from yesterday, right? So where should price go for me to flip my buys that I'm 100% confident is this level right here, which we traded off of and it rejected once again. Second time I tried catching along here. Once this gets broken to the upside, that's where confidence goes up. But here it's like you're catching a falling knife. I tried to do it here. Usually I manage to catch the falling knives, like at least within this past week. I caught all the bottoms of the runs, but it's because of where my P&L is at right now for the day. Waiting for a bit more. And like these are really nice rejections off like this level here. I can't say they're not. So all this is consolidation here. Price is pushing up higher now. It broke past this inversion here. I just wanted to see it close above. It's trading back into this 1 hour BSC, into this 15-minute fair value gap. This could have been liquidity that I just took right now on the 1 minute. So careful about this candle. I have no trust in price right now. I trade to the upper half of the midnight opening range. Close. It's still closed below it. Like it traded to this 15-second fair value gap. I don't know how much weight this has. Probably little to none, but we'll see. This was a nasty. If this was the Judah, this was nasty from the market. It caught me up. So we respected this 15-second fair value gap here, and now it's pushing up. I don't see any. Let's see if it creates a bit more here. Price created relative equal highs above us. Right here on the 15-second. So breadcrumb 1. Let's see how this 1 minute closes. If it's going to close again within this blue box here. Price might be actually going to this level right here. Next. There's no fair value gap that formed on the 15-second or on the 1 minute. Other than this one right here. Price is heading for buy side now. So that relative equal high has been tagged. Let's see where this 1 minute's going to close. If it's going to close back in this blue box here, this inversion. So these closes here within this blue box, this is sketchy. Like technically it's holding price, but these wicks are just going up, coming back down. It took out liquidity here. Like there is a 1 minute, SIBI, which is essentially pushing price down. Do I? I'm gonna get price late till 10:30, but price look, it's breaking back down below this level here on the 1 minute, rejecting off of the purple box being midnight. There might be a New York move. Sorry, not New York, but like a 130 move going to the upside. If anything, if price shows the right cards, but this blue level here is a bit throwing me off. So it looks like prices between key PDAs right now. I don't think it's rejecting the 1 hour BISI to the downside. It moved already a couple. How many handles did it move? 161 since the morning to the downside. A lot of buy side above us. We have sell side below us. Price here is breaking to see. So right now, if price were to turn around, this is kind of where I wanted to see a turnaround, where I took a trade. Once it broke past it, that's essentially grabbing more liquidity from the buy side here. But you can see price didn't even want to push up after this push here. It kind of stopped in its tracks. It's currently back at this opening range. To be honest, if I were to be taking trades, it'd be shorts right now. Like this is, like I have no interest right now in longs. So let's see. There is, let's do a quick instant rebalance. I'm gonna take a one pip short here. And I'm targeting the low right here. Quick 1-to-1. I like this instant rebalance here. It probably means I might be on side. So this is the trade that I'm taking right now. Price failed to break the CE of the end dog to the downside, and we'll see if it takes it. And that was not the reaction I wanted to see here. So price is, I manually exited here because it's going to attack me out. But all in all, guys, price here is, this is very tough trading conditions. So in my opinion, I'm going to be done for the morning session today. I can't even tell you guys what I think it's going to do here. It broke below these levels. It's breaking back above these key PD arrays. Price isn't really picking direction right now. It's just consolidating. It's back in the end dog. The end dog's not really being respected now at this point. The SIBI, it broke it to the downside, but then it decided to use it as an IFEG and it broke it to the upside. So all in all here, and if price were to go back down here, time distortion till what though, right? Like the 950 to 1010 macro is over. And look, it just went back to the end dog, took out these relative equal highs. It's going, this is seek and destroy behavior. It's just taking lows and highs out right now. And this is PA that I get caught up in. So like it's probably gonna take this low, might go back up high, and then just start taking the lower low. But all in all, from a 1 hour perspective, it is fairly, it's bearish. It did take out buy side. It can start turning around here. This is the move I want to see. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I think you'll be safe once it passes these dark green targets here, which is the first presented fair value gaps. But right now, it's death right now, what it's doing. It's bouncing between this level, and this level. So all in all, guys, wish today's outcome was a bit better than it is, but honestly, I'm still below 1 R. Technically 1 R for me right now is $260. So I am below it. I am going to look for a bigger trade in the afternoon session. Like a 5-to-1, trying to take price to a longer term target or a level of inefficiency that I think it's going to be drawing to. But all in all today, the better trade was in the morning, right? Clear targets, right? Clear price action. And that's how it should be. But I think this trade was also decent, my second one. And then the third one that I took today, I think it was just trying to make a quick 10,000 within one trade and just scaling it up as it goes up. So all in all, performance first house, good. Performance second half, I guess my negatives got to my head a bit. But all in all, guys, I'm going to close today's stream. I don't think the morning session has anything else to offer. Like this is complete garbage right now, what it's doing. And on that note, talk to you guys soon. Thanks for coming in. Bye for now.